the 1800s was not only one of the most elegant and exciting centuries in fashion, but it was also the birth of Charles Worth, the Grand Master of Couture and the godfather of Haute Couture, Charles Worth, and then his son took over the house when he passed away in the turn of the 1900s. And today I just wanted to share something that is not from Charles Worth, but it is part of my collection of 19th century fashions. Now, my collection is not just vintage 60s mod or bias cut gowns from the 1930s or puffy sleeves from the 80s, but it goes all the way back to the 1700s. But I do have from the 1900s, the 1800s, I do have several gowns, complete gowns, plus I also have a lot of, mix and match, like skirts, cotton skirts. I have a lot of blouses and capes, because capes were very famous in the 1800s. As you, if you have seen, 1800s, 18th century, 19th century movies based on Jack the Ripper, anything based in London, because in London it just seems like it's so Sherlock Holmes and it's so 1800s when people used to wear a lot of capes. So I do have a lot of beautiful capes with beautiful embroideries, and today I wanted to share with you something that is probably one of the most beautiful things that have ever been kept in storage through not just me, but it has been taken care of through generations of families. This is from the around the 1850s. It is silk fabric. It is probably made in Paris. It is 1800s, around 1855. This is all pleated silk, and then the puffy sleeves are just amazing. And then it has all of these this is all gathered silk. And it is just amazing how people would go through the extent of not just making a dress, but the details of the jewels and the pleating, the bows. I mean, the inside lining is another story. It's another video. The inside lining of this bodice corset is it's made from real steel, because back in the 1800s, when people used to wear corsets, of course, they wouldn't make them like now where they just make like a plastic boning. It was all made out of real steel. And as you can see by the details of this dress, the sewing is just amazing. I mean, these over here are all made out of steel. And the sewing is all handmade by hand. It's all hand stitched, of course. And the craftsmanship that went into this probably took several months, unless the family had a sewer in the mansion or in the villa, that they would probably finish this within a month. But this probably took several months. And the details of the skirt is very impressive. First of all, let me tell you that something like this back then would have cost around $5,000, I think. Definitely it would be more than $3,000 because I mean I did a lot of research, and this is not a typical dress because this is like a day wear dress, and it's for somebody who had a lot of money, of course. And the skirt has probably I would say 5 or 6 yards of silk, but the lining, it is impressive. I mean, this is a work of art. I mean, this is a lot of money. This is silk, and then this is silk, like a cotton silk, and then with the lace, it is all hand sewn by hand, and it is just amazing that it is in this great condition. So I just wanted to share with you that my collection is not just from the 20th century, but it is also dates back to the 1800s, and I do have an impressive collection of silk gowns, and some of them have the labels that were made in Paris. So I think that something like this definitely would have probably, I mean, this definitely took months to make, and this alone, it is all hand sewn, and I know that this took weeks to do. And so there you go. And then of course, to finish off the video, this is real silk. This is all silk. And the details this is the undergarment of the pink dress. This is just the silk skirt that goes underneath this skirt. And as you can see, it is also probably took a long time because all of this was sewn by hand. It is just amazing